We met yesterday at IPI together with the Committee to Protect Journalists, which is a press freedom organization based in New York. We had the opportunity yesterday to speak with the Office of the Special Prosecutor in Slovakia, which is a constitutionally mandated office to investigate particularly serious crimes. This office has been investigating and looking, as they told us. Their focus now is exclusively on identifying and charging the mastermind. What we understood from them is that and this is what they told us, that they are very, very close to announcing a result in the investigation. That is to say, they are close to issuing one or several indictments. They decline to specify whether one or more individuals are currently being considered as the mastermind. And they said that they have those individuals who they believe ordered the crime. They believe they have these people in mind, but are still gathering the evidence, is what we were told. I would say from my side, I found this to be a fairly encouraging meeting. I mean, we were already encouraged by the arrests and criminal charges last fall. But we know from our experience around the world, looking at cases of murdered journalists, that in most cases, if anyone is held to account, it tends to be these hitmen, middlemen, in this case middlewomen as well, and rarely are the actual masterminds brought to justice. So this is the challenge that the Slovakia is facing right now, ensuring that those individuals who actually ordered this crime are brought to justice. So we are, I would say, cautiously optimistic on the basis of our meeting with the Special Prosecutor's Office. However, again, this is a really difficult leap to make in our experience, holding these masterminds accountable. So I think that in many respects, the jury is still out, and we will still need to see whether the justice system will be able to hold these people accountable if and when they are actually charged. And maybe just to mention, there's been quite a bit of speculation about who the mastermind is, and that speculation is focused on an individual named Jan Kuciak, who is, let's say, a shady businessman with suspected ties to the mafia. He is already in pretrial detention on unrelated fraud charges since last June, I believe. So the speculation is focused on him, but we don't actually know if this is the person that the Special Prosecutor's Office will end up ultimately charging in the crime. So having said all that, and I'll be happy to also to answer any questions about what we discussed yesterday with the Special Prosecutor, but I want to turn to Beata because she has been an extremely important voice, not only in pushing for justice for Jan Kuciak, but I think also standing up for independent media in Slovakia and in the Central Europe region as a whole. So Beata, let me just start by asking you, from your perspective, it's 1 year after the murder took place, how would you characterize your level of trust in the investigation so far and your feeling about the possibility of progress here?
Thank you so much for having me here and giving me the opportunity to talk about the murder of my colleague and issues we strongly care about. Regarding the investigation, we trust the original investigator team. We trust the chief investigator, but I believe that this team works under so much pressure. And one reason is that Jan Kuciak, whom you, Scott, already mentioned, over the years he developed a very influential network of people. He had connections at the police, at the prosecution, in politics, and we often characterize him as a businessman with dirt. And for years, he has been collecting discrediting materials about politicians and about police figures, and we believe that his way of getting away with different frauds and different illicit activities were thanks to his connections at the police. He several times appeared in our stories. We have been writing about him over the past 20 years. He appeared in every major scandal in Slovakia, and until June last year he was free. And so that's one of the risks that these people might be still at the police, and the investigation into this murder brought up so much dirt which is not related only to this murder. And right after the murder, Robert Fico and a lot of politicians tried to push the rhetorics that this murder needs to be investigated and that's it. But we believe that it's not only important to point at who, fired the gun. It's not only important to say who ordered the murder, but to investigate all the related crimes, because this man was able to raise to his past strength in a society where it was made possible to be created a protected layer of people who were above law, and this is also so important, because if this murder is to bring about anything meaningful,